All right, guys, again, welcome back to Pistify, where we build skills, not just resumes. The more you work on, the more you get hands on, and hence you move on and get the job with the purpose of learn and earn. So, learning is never ending process, like I always say, and hence we are now learning ECS deployment, or I would rather say deploy application on ECS, but that would be in an automated way. So we are not going to perform any manual execution. The only thing we need to do is to understand the codes and then set up the new pipeline for the entire deployment process. So again, this is the code. You can, this is publicly available. You can just clone and fork it to your local and then start working on it. Sorry, I'm just not feeling okay today, but that's fine. All right, let me go back to the Visual Studio where I have the repository cloned. So I would not say that there is much difference, but the only difference you would find here is Jenkins file. Let me first walk you through quickly on the app.py or maybe every application related code. So there's nothing but an application. We are getting the dependencies from requirement.txt like we did last time. So there is no difference, just a change in message because this time it would be Jenkins, ECR, and ECS. And here we are executing the application to run on host local. It is 0.0.0 and port would be 5000. But the moment you find it, so there are two things. It although it says 0.0.0, but you can always configure it on the IP itself when you work on the on an enterprise level in the private subnet. You should get the private IP assigned to EC2 machine. So for the EC2 case, like we discussed earlier, you can change it to the host as the EC2 IP. And for ECS, this IP may not be the same because every time we are going to prefer ECS with Fargate. So no EC2 is there. This is a serverless environment. I would be walking you through quickly later on. Just a second. Let me walk you through application related stuff. These are the same. There is no difference and requirements is Flask. Now coming back to Terraform, we are provisioning ECR because we will now push our image to ECR and then we'll configure our ECS cluster to get the or the refer the image with the help of task definition, and the task execution role would be this one. You can always define it like this, or if you want you can prefer to have it in a segregated way. So this is the ECS task execution stuff. Task definition configuration is right there. I will not walk you through how would it be. So this is Fargate. Require compatibilities is Fargate. We have two types of ECS deployments. One is with EC2, one is with Fargate. So we have chosen Fargate now. This is the mapping we are doing. So if you have ever done ECS configuration console, you would be able to understand this. So if you haven't done it, if you like to do it, you can always go through the videos for ECS ALB configuration. I already have it uploaded on YouTube, so you can choose the you can witness the playlist AWS deploy, and there you would be finding this particular stuff. So ECS is again uh, ECS cluster. Also, I have one another playlist for Terraform. I have configured ECS provisioning there as well. But since this is all the way to application deployment and that to Jenkins, so still configuring like this. All right, output is what we would be getting in the end as a result. Provider is AWS as I always choose. And here, rather than asking Terraform to create it, I have already uh, created a VPC and I have defined the subnets here and the security group so that my cluster would pick the tasks to be provisioned on these subnets and associate the security group to it accordingly. So these should be mapped or synced for the network interface perspective. And then we have variables.tf. I always say variables are nothing but the keys, and TFRs are for the key value pairs. So we have the values defined here as well. And let's come to the main file, Jenkins file, because we are doing everything on Jenkins. So we have defined parameter as the choice parameter. Action is apply or destroy. So we what would be doing is we would be launching ECS, and then we will be destroying ECS with the Jenkins pipeline. We haven't done it yet. We'll do it this time. So environment, again, Terraform directory is Terraform, and application directory is app, and AWS region, I always choose this. Stage, checking out the codes from the GitHub, Terraform initialize, and then apply. So when you come to this stage, it depends on the execution of the command based on the parameter. So when I choose apply, then it would be start creating it. When I choose destroy, then it would be start destroying it. So that's how it would work. And now the same goes for like the Docker image, apply, and then if I say apply, then my EC Docker image will be pushed to ECR. And how would it be recognizing which ECR repository is it? With this particular script, right? It is doing nothing but getting into the Terraform directory and then taking the ECR repository URL out from the output, since we have defined in the output like ECR repository. So ECR repository URL. So it will refer this particular stuff, and then we'll we'll log into ECR and build the image, push the Docker image to ECR, that particular ECR. Okay, and then once it is image is pushed, it will deploy it to ECS, and again doing nothing but to refer Terraform directory and getting the ECR cluster details there from there, and then we are all set, and it will start uh, deploying the application to ECS. And when it comes to destroy, so we have another stage. If you choose apply, then it will not this will not be applicable. If you choose destroy, then apply stuff will not be applicable. So if you choose there, it will destroy every other thing that we have in the Terraform directory. Okay, so let's do the hands-on and see the magic if it does anything. So far, what we have done, we have deployed the application on local. We have got this. Again, I refresh it. I'm getting this. We have done a deployment on EC2. The IP is changed. See, this is on another EC2. So we have done this. Now we are going to do the same on ECS cluster. So let's first go ahead and see the ECS cluster just to verify whether we have anything running there. We should not have anything, but still, we'll give it a check. We don't have cluster, we don't have task definitions created, and we should not have ECR as well. See, nothing. All right, so let me now go back to this, not this, but Jenkins new item. So this time we are deploying the application on ECS using Jenkins pipeline, and then we say yes. Oh my god, let me refresh it because I haven't refreshed it from long, so might be. All right, and now this is the one I have here. um, all right, I haven't changed it again, so let me do this. I'm already logged into Jenkins. Let me restart the session. So what I'll do here is I'll get this password again. So this is the way you get the initial password. So I would recommend once you set up Jenkins and get into the system, just go ahead here and I'm sorry, just go here admin. Under security, just choose the password and change it back to something of your choice so that you don't have to do it again and again. This is the nation. Now I'll choose the password of my own choice and I'm in. That's great. Now go back to, so we have done local, we have done EC2. Now we'll do deploy app. We'll choose ECS like this. And again, this will be a parameterized project where we will be having choices for the action that we'll be opting up. Now choice, if I select apply or if I select destroy. I'm sorry, let me do this and let me correct it. Okay, we have two choices based on the action we'll be opting while building the uh, while initiating the build. All right, and this is git. Then the repository URL is nothing but the repository https URL. I'll do this. Credentials is nothing but the one we created initially. Branch is the same. I'm sorry. Let's do this main, and then we have the Jenkins file. Let's leave it as is. Now start build with parameters. Here I have apply and destroy. Since I haven't created it yet, so I will not choose destroy. I will choose apply. Let's see what it says or what it does. I'll go back to console. I'm sorry. I'll go to console output and see if it is doing anything based on my inputs for apply. So it is started creating this stuff. Pipeline failed. Let's see why is it so. It says the security group does not exist. Which security group is it? Okay, which security group is it? Let me see. Go to 0. There is no security group like this. Okay, cool. No issues. So what I'll do is I'll choose the security group of something. Maybe let me choose the one we created for EC2. And by the way, which subnet is it in mapped with? I think this is the same VPC. All right, hardly matters then. And I'm going to choose this. I'll come back here in the, I'm sorry, TFRs. I'll say don't consider this particular one. Choose this, save it. Before I push it to GitHub, let me first try to run just to be on safer side because ECR is created. So something it has created. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say build with parameters and destroy the things that has been created. Let's see if it does this work for me. All right, it has destroyed 5 resources that it created. So destroy is working fine. I am going to push the code with the correct security group to the GitHub, uh, Terraform. All right, I would. This is in this directory, so that's the reason I'll have to choose folder as well. Git commit edit updated sg. Make sure you choose or you modify these fields according to your configurations for the VPC. Don't just copy and paste and run the codes. Just modify these values based on what does exist on your account. All right, I have done this. Let's do the apply again. Build with parameters, apply. Let's witness what's going on. Okay, all right, ECR is created. It's creating task definition, also created, I believe. It's creating the execution policy. It has moved further. I think it is created ECS cluster as well. Now it's building the image, pushing it to that ECR which we created. It has pushed. Now it will deploy. It will refer the cluster name and deploy cluster name and the service name. Deploy the application to that service, and not to the service, but the task it it associated with the service, right? So we have done it successfully. Now let's go back to ECS container registry, refresh it, and I would say private repositories. I have got one. Let's see the date. Created it, so it's created today. Now go back to ECS cluster. We have got the task definition created. See, we have got the cluster created, and we have two tasks running. So based on the desired capacity. So let's go into service, see the task, what task we have. We have two tasks running. So what we'll do, we'll check the first one. And why we have two? Because we have chosen the desired capacity as two, just for providing the availability. So this is the public IP we'll be trying to access for this particular task. And trust me, there is no EC2 machine provisioned with it. Let me show it to you. We only have the one we provisioned earlier and one we associated with the Jenkins. So we do not have any other EC2 instance. See, we just have two EC2 instance. One we created earlier, no ECS is there, and now we are have deployed it on ECS. So that's totally containerized. Let me open this. Now when I opened it, I'll say 500 port. Here we go. Hello from Jenkins plus ECR plus ECS. That's what we configured in our app.py file. So whatever you configure there, whatever applications you have, that would be visible like this only. And then if I show the second task, let's go back to task and try to access the IP for this one. So this task is stopped. So there is no other task, only desired one running. Maybe we have the desired capacity as one. I Let me check again what we put as the desired capacity. All right, desired count is one. It's clearly visible here. So that's the reason only one task can be running. So if I choose two, then two tasks will be running and both will be serving this page. So that is great when you have the high availability setup, and that also can be managed through auto scaling group, but we don't have any auto scaling group configured so far. So that's the reason we only have one task. See, cool. So we have seen the local deployment, we have seen the deployment on EC2, we have now seen the deployment on ECS, and that's how it work on the enterprise level. We generally prefer to have this ECS way of setup these days when it comes to containerization the applications. And nowadays we have also EKS in picture. So most of the companies are now moving ahead with the application deployment in EKS, Kubernetes, and the concept is really the same. It also refers it the image from ECR, and then you deploy the app on EKS. All right. So I think that's all for the session now.